Guess what? We're live.
Hey, guess what? It's Jess the Sky Kid. It's Thursday night. We're still at the new place. We don't have a name yet. We're going to work on a name. It's going to probably be La Hacienda something. Because first it was Casa de Sky Kid, then it was Palace de Chilorino, and now it's got to be something, right? It has to follow the Latin feel, I guess, of our homes.
There you go.
Hey, homes. Anyways,
See.
the video previous to this was Animal Factory's live performance. Holy fuck, if you missed it, go back and watch. These guys are so tight. They're like the perfect night or way to bust a cherry, right? As they tight. She said. Anyways, thank you for breaking in our new place. Welcome! We got the round table back. If you go back to 2017, this was our main thing. So,
What did it turn into?
it turned into a basement oddity because we ran out of space. So we used to just do this show as Kiff and I, and then Betcher, and then sometimes our friend Mike, or whoever decided to show up. We would do it around here and play records and stuff until we decided to have live bands come and play in our basement.
Got you.
And from that, it just became booked, and it wasn't a safe thing to put in the basement.
It seems like it.
So now that we've moved and have a new space, we're able to have this back out, and we can have performance and we can have interviews. So welcome and thank you so much for welcoming us into our new home. We haven't even been here a week.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
First band.
Yeah.
Woo! We'll do introductions. We'll go this way.
What's up? I'm Kevin. I play bass and I sing for Animal Factory.
I'm Nick. I play drums for Animal Factory.
I think
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that we know that.
we've established this.
I'm not a part of this band.
I'm LJ, I play guitar for Animal Factory.
We're keeping with the
I
theme.
thought it was
I'm hot Joe.
I'm BJ.
This is Hot
Big
Joe.
Joe. I'm Hot Joe, and I play
He's the
guitar.
the hottest guy you
Is
know.
that like a sloppy Joe?
It
a hot
is.
Joe?
It
It's
is
like a hot sloppy Joe.
It is honestly a story.
Imagine
that just
sloppy
goes
Joe
way
with a
too
lot
far.
It's a long
back.
story.
And
Yeah.
it's become a joke.
We don't have an hour to
If
tell.
only we had an interview right now.
It's like a Stephen King miniseries. There's like weeks
8
of
episodes?
yeah. There's like 8
Yeah,
episodes.
it includes
It's
like
too much.
toxic relationships.
It's too much.
Yeah,
it's too
terrible.
much. So it's just it's too
Ooh.
much.
50-year-old women hitting on me. It is what it is.
That's
Which is a common thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Women
Women my age don't like.
You're the bait for cougars? Is that just,
yeah.
Dang, cougar bait.
Is that how
Cougar bait.
Animal Factory came
Damn.
about?
Way to go, sport.
Man, how did Animal Factory come about? Because
I
I'm
was
old.
in there.
Inquiring minds want to
This-
know.
Okay.
He's the one to ask.
So,
When did that?
Animal
When did it
Factory
start?
has been a band since 2011, late 2011.
Wow.
It started, it was me, I have a twin brother who, if you check out like older, you're not even really that old, but just Animal Factory stuff pre like 2020, you'll see him in a bunch of like photos and whatnot. But basically it was me, him, and we had a different drummer that was just one of our boys from high school. And then another one of our buddies that we also met from high school. So we had that lineup for first like year and a half maybe. That's the lineup that's on Elevations. And then that singer split. We got a new singer. We did Volume 2 with that, a different lineup. He ended up leaving. Joe joined the band in 2016?
2016.
We got a new drummer. We got Nick. He joined in
2016?
2016, 2017.
Into 2016,
Something, yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. And then LJ's been in for
Like
what?
6-ish months, 6-ish
Yeah.
months,
Is it?
something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
It seems longer because
It
he
seems
catches
longer.
on and plays.
Yeah,
no,
holy
it catches
shit.
on. It seems
Yeah.
longer, but
Yeah.
so this lineup has been alive for like 6 months, and we kind of have like a satellite guitar player with like Sean, who I was saying before, was a member prior, so he moved away to New Hampshire. He's getting his PhD.
Science bit.
Yeah.
But when he's back, he'll play with us, so we'll
Yeah.
do like a 3 guitar
We'll be
player
like-
thing.
yeah,
so we're
we'll
kind
be
of like
like-
2.5 guitar players.
Yeah,
We
we
like
like the
have
Blue
Iron
Oyster
Maiden
Cult
did.
style.
Yeah.
Charlie
Iron
Sheen.
Maiden,
Yeah, Maiden lost the
Tiger
guitar
Blood.
player and then he
Yeah,
came back.
Tiger
and-
Blood. That's what I'm.
Yeah, same thing as
Yeah.
like Iron Maiden. Yeah, totally.
They
But,
lost the player and they
so
got
like
him back.
You're gonna run to the
elbow
hills?
room. We
Always.
run to the hills.
They had two players and then now they have 3 because
Not
they
a
got
cardio
old
guy,
guy
walk
back.
to the
Yeah.
hills.
Because that's what happens when you have an animal factory. They just keep
They keep
reproducing.
Oh yeah.
That's
well, we
so.
we
That's
forced them
what
to
I
reproduce for the
came
good
up
of the
with
country.
too. Yeah, I say they've been through a bunch of people, and they've produced like so many like good musicians in this band. So they're like a factory of animals, like a good term to be like really good at what you're doing.
Like, oh, he's an animal at what he does.
Everybody
here,
in this
you know?
band
Yeah.
has been an animal at what they do.
I mean,
It's cool.
honestly.
From
Yeah.
past and present, and they keep churning them out like a factory.
So how'd you come up with the name though?
So that was our old drummer came up with it. I think he just thought it was cool. I know it's a movie. I don't know if he got it from the movie. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you guys seen?
No, I don't think any of us
I
have
don't
seen
know.
the
I've
movie.
seen the movie.
I
I know
don't
there
think any of
exists
us have
a
seen it.
movie called Animal Factory. I'm not sure if he like had known that when he thought of it, but basically like we were like, yeah, that sounds badass. It's hard as hell to find a band name.
Yeah, a band name
Oh
that no one else
God,
has
now
on the
it's
internet.
just like stuck,
Right.
and we're just like, I mean,
Yep.
it's cool.
That's
Like,
so hard.
Yeah, I
Except
think it's
there's
cool.
one French man.
there is a French rapper
yeah.
who is
Animal?
called Animal Factory.
Yeah.
But he
It's
raps in
bullshit.
French. Everything's
Everything's in
French.
French.
James
It's
Animal
so
Factory.
lame. It's like all of his lyrics are in French. All the titles are in French.
Because
Where
he's
do you-
French.
Where do you get off with an American name?
Who gave you the right?
It's just like it's just dumb. It's just a lame brand.
Right?
Be like, if we named our band Animal Factory, but in French,
He's
that's
not
lame
alive
brand.
anymore.
You
Yeah.
can't do
Makes
it in
sense.
French because animal is still animal in
Right,
French.
yeah. Oh, is it really?
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The animal.
What is factory?
The same thing.
Factor
because it's
in.
an Americanized word.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a Germanic
Interesting.
language
Well,
word.
shit. So sorry,
And
Mr.
do you know
French
how
rapper,
English
we
came
took
to
your-
be?
Damn it.
It's
Damn it.
Germanic and it's Germanic and Latin mixed. That's how you get English.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
so
Bull, stay
you
listen
know.
up. She's taught me more than you did in 4 years. And I paid a lot of money for you.
So that kind of being said, having transitioned through a few different human beings, how as a founding member did you continue to collect people? How do you know each other?
It's a collection.
Well, funny story. I got into the band emailing this guy
Yeah.
to audition. So I sent him an old band that played like nothing but like Primus and Faith No More and Deftones and stuff like that. The whole time I'm emailing him, I'm teaching this guy at my job to have a job. So he comes in one day
He's
and one of
teaching
our
me how to have a job.
I worked in workforce
Yeah,
development too.
Joey's a lot of work.
he does.
I do.
Teaching him to
Rough
do the
rough.
job where I work, and he comes in one day and he's in an Animal Factory T-shirt, and I was like, "How do you know that band?" And he's like, "I'm in that band." And I was like, "Hey, I try out for you on Saturday." He's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "Oh,
The
that's
teacher
a-
becomes the student.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then this kid, I've known him since elementary school. Or middle school,
yeah.
And when Sean was leaving for New Hampshire, I was just like, alright, this guy, I know he can play guitar, he can shred it. And so we brought, because he saw us play one of our local bar shows that we played twice a year. And he's like, dude, when we played that show before, Sean was moving, he's like, I want to play in your band. Like, I got to play in your band, you guys are awesome. And then Sean left, and
then there it was. Yeah, like it wasn't even. It was more of I mean, I more like thought that. Like I told you, like I thought that more. So
he
I was
thought
just
it
like,
into existence.
I was just like, if there was ever a spot that opened up in this,
He
I would
just
definitely want to jump on that. And then
Dude, I was open.
it just came. Yeah, and then
Wow.
Sean moved away.
He's the lemur?
And Sean.
It was about you the whole
The
time.
Lemur.
Dude.
Amen.
And there, I mean, there was a
it
point
was.
when Sean left too that we had talked about like getting a new name and going like a whole new way. And
This
then-
guy wanted to make
true.
a jam.
No,
base.
Oh my-
Like we almost
He
completely.
kind of did though.
We kind of almost just abandoned the whole thing, and then we were like, man, we've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like
Might as well
it's
keep it.
because then you just said, oh, we have a new band and it's this. But
Everybody
those songs
kinda
you've heard us
turned
play
away from
for like a couple shows, we're gonna play those. It's just we just had to look at it and go, all right, this just seems dumb.
You guys kind of are a jam band, though. You're kind of an amalgamation
That's what I
of like
think, too.
prog, indie, jam, blues. Like you hear
love
a
it.
lot of
Yeah,
stuff
I
in
love
there.
it. I mean,
It's psychedelic. It's
we all listen to a huge array
Yeah.
of music, so like
It's all
that's
over the
what
place,
we
so.
want. That's what we want people
Except I'm
to
still
get
waiting
out
for
of
my
our
country music to come in.
You don't know
This
how to
guy's a
incorporate
country
that
boy.
yet?
They just won't let me. They just shoot down my
Why?
country licks. They're
I
like,
never
no,
shot
we
it.
don't play country in
Don't
this
get the
band.
fans on your side for this.
Yeah.
Fans don't listen to them.
Wait, but
I'm already
you
on
can
the
do
side.
a lot of cool stuff
Thank you,
with
Josie.
traditional like bluegrass and stuff. That can because it laid the foundation for
Enter
blues and
my
You should
band.
see this guy rip a banjo.
Yeah, he gets.
Dude, why
He's
wouldn't
good.
you
He's good.
incorporate that? You should throw in a saxophone or a clarinet.
He plays saxophone also.
I play saxophone and clarinet
Hell
too.
yeah! Woo!
Actually, I play clarinet better, so we could do like a thing.
There you go.
He plays trumpet and
Alright,
and
and now Animal Factory is this guy.
Yeah, let's go.
no, we're a folk punk band, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I always like to say we're heavy hometown new wave.
Wow.
That is a lot of words that I've never
If
heard
someone told me
before.
that, I'd be like, I don't know what that, and none of that.
It's a line from
It doesn't have to make
it's a
sense.
line from a Primus song, and anytime anyone has ever asked me what any band I'm in, they're like, "What's your band sound like?" Or "What kind of music is your band?" I go, "Oh, we're heavy hometown new wave." And they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "Exactly."
So speaking of hometown, so when you originally had reached out to me and you're like, hey, we're this band, you even submitted stuff for Milwaukee Punk Fest and all that sort of thing, we were like, Des Plaines, but your stuff also says Chicago, so where the fuck are you guys actually from?
We're gonna say Chicago
Yes.
now.
Why?
Don't do that.
Because
Don't
we
lie.
live in Chicago.
Okay.
So Des Plaines is a suburb of Chicago. Technically, like
So is
us three
Mundelein,
grew
but
up-
it's not Chicago.
It's like Bio Hair though. It's
That's
pretty
Chicagoland
close.
area.
Yeah,
But,
the
uh,
State Arena.
Okay, we practice
We're
in
a
Chicago.
stone's
So
throw.
if we're talking about
Yeah.
like the band address, that is Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago where? Like, as in, like...
Avondale, Roscoe Village, something like that.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're in Avondale, Roscoe
Ooh.
Village.
Isn't that, like, really good
I don't
Greek
know.
food, too?
Yeah.
Over that
Yeah,
way?
good.
I thought so! We
Everything,
haven't been there!
everything, all the good food is there. There's a great Romanian restaurant. There's a great, like, there's a bar that we all frequent. That's right there. Yeah, the Demon Tap.
Kuma's is really
Kuma's
famous.
is right there.
Yeah.
So where it's like all this great food is
Yeah.
right around when we rehearse. So that
Yeah.
sometimes that gets hard
The
to
beef
get
kitchen's
through practice.
over yonder.
Yeah, no, it's like
Right
Yeah,
Right by
yeah,
Kuma's.
yeah, it's not that far away.
Yeah.
It's about 2 miles down, 2 miles east
That's
of
not
there.
far.
Maybe
House is right over there.
a mile east.
Elbow Room's not far.
Yeah.
Elbow Room's
Some good
well,
venues
it's
there.
Elbow Room's no longer.
Rest in
so-
peace.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah,
That's
rest
gone.
in peace.
Yeah.
Also, rest in peace to Animal Factory,
So-
the rap artist.
We're past him. We're
Yeah, I
past
just wanted to say he did pass away, apparently.
All right. Moment of silence.
And
All right, here
anyway,
we go.
back to music.
One for the homies. So, so your imagery, okay? I guess it kind of portrays a very psychedelic vibe. So how did you come to have said imagery?
So we're all, I would say, pretty big fans of just album artwork in general, and we really like to associate the music with some sort of image that helps kind of portray it and kind of take it to that next level beyond just hearing things, you're actually seeing things. So, I mean, we're all about the kind of like psychedelic sort of looks with it. I think in
But
general
are you
we're like in,
about psychedelic?
yeah.
This
like-
interview just took an eye-opening turn. Ah! Sorry.
I mean, whatever the
I
fans
gotta show
are.
off.
But I mean, there's a lot of kind of intellectual, like introspective, lyrical content
Yes.
within our songs. So anything that helps take it to that level where you could kind of build a picture and not just have like a bunch of ambiguous words. Anything that helps shape that is kind of what we look for.
Yeah.
So with the lemur, it was an easy mascot for that. I mean, we've had a buddy who's drawn maybe 3 or 4 different like versions of this lemur pictures. Who's kind of been like our we gotta get him a name.
You need to
We
make
gotta
it
get
Frankie
more
P.
flashy.
It's kind of been our mascot of sorts.
Oh, the name for the leaner. Oh.
For the lemur,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You need to like make him a little
Yeah.
plush.
We still gotta
Oh,
do
I really want a
yes.
plush of him. He's
That's-
cute.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Until he comes
That's
alive in the middle of the night and kills
That's
you.
how you
Hilarious.
appeal to the
That's what
when
female.
we
Yeah.
make a movie where there's like a lemur that comes alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And everybody just loves Animal Factory. And the soundtrack is all Animal Factory music.
So then, do you
Rob
guys?
Zombie, are you hearing this?
Are you hearing
You ready to hop on
Make this happen.
Make this happen.
Do you have the same person who has done all of your album work? Do you like have?
We got a new one for this.
Yeah.
This newest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Frank's the guy who did like he's done pretty much all of our shirts. He only did the Unnatural Selection cover. The first cover for Elevations we got through like a local artist in Des Plaines. She was like posting some stuff for the college radio, like does a lot of landscape, kind of like psychedelic landscape, if you will, for lack of a better term. Second one we just kind of found online, and then this fourth one we're going through one of his buddies. The third one,
Frankie.
Yeah,
Okay.
Frank's the guy that did our shirts did this one.
I'm like, I can count right now.
and then the
1,
fourth
2,
one-
4. What do you mean you can count?
Wait, we need to skip one.
Yeah, a friend of mine, she posted some of her boyfriend's artwork, and the moment I saw it, like it was a painting of this like skeleton horse, and it was this, and I was like, we were in the middle of getting ready to go record our next record, and I was like, I want that guy to do it, and I like showed these guys all the artwork, and I was like, no, this is the guy. I want this guy to do it. I want this guy to do it. So that was how we came about meeting him, and I was just like, hey, this is my friend's boyfriend, and I was like, give me your boyfriend's info. Like, I want to give him money to do art for my band.
Wonderful. So if this is gonna come about when? Because you have a new album in the works.
Yeah, it's almost.
It's like almost done.
I always
Yeah.
hate
right?
committing to like dates.
You don't have to give a date. You can just say
The
projected.
He's got commitment
goal. So the
problems.
goal is to have it out by 420. So we dropped the last album on 420.
That's
last
right.
year. So
Last year.
the goal to have it. So we started recording this like January.
January, yeah.
Oh,
So
remember.
the entire time I've been saying
November.
No, we didn't
November
start-
we went in, then December Sean came back and recorded his guitar parts.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's when we found out that we recorded everything
Yeah.
a half step above.
But we've only done
Well,
a few
no, that's
sessions.
that's
They've
not
just
true.
been very
That's-
spread
that's
out.
aside the point.
Yeah, it is true.
But yeah, so the goal is by 420.
to have all the art, all the everything
Everything.
done and ready to
Have the
put out.
CDs like in our hands, maybe some cassettes. I don't know.
You want to, yeah. You were
In the
talking
Lakes
about-
Records, which is out of Chicago, makes cassettes.
Yeah.
Just
Who's that?
In the Lake.
Yeah.
In the lakes, okay.
And we heard about them from a band from like Texas.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so
Raise
Oklahoma.
Dale, raise hell.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
big news, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So-
huh? Probably.
You're kind of. We're
Brought to you by
Brought to you by
the gas
Mama
station. who
Jello.
didn't have
Because the
the
PBR.
gas station didn't have PBR,
I
but
love it.
they did. So
Thank you.
Let's hear it for
Yes.
Jess to
Somebody
stop
knows
doing
what I want.
PBR.
and I didn't even have to talk to you. That's great.
So,
Hey,
be-
my reputation precedes me.
so being from Chicago, then do you all drink Malort?
Oh,
I do not
like
think loves
fucking
it. Yeah.
big.
dude,
No,
like it's
that's
fucking,
disgusting.
like it's
This is
going
like
out of
this-
style
this
and it's never gonna be
We
made
should've
again.
brought Malort.
It should
That would've
never
been
be
a
made again. It's
classy
fucking
move.
gross.
Just have
I
a
love
bottle
it.
of Malort.
He loves
You would,
Malort.
yeah.
I
I'd
love
rather
it.
drink
Everyone
dog
has a
toilet
friend
water.
that loves Malort.
Dogs go to the bathroom in a toilet?
I would take the dog's fecal
Dude.
matter, throw it in the toilet, slosh it around, and
Why are you describing Bud White when you could?
I'll take that one, dude. I like
Very
that.
true.
Well done.
But I love it.
Well done.
I love it.
It's medicinal.
Yeah, it's good for an upset stomach. It really is.
Yeah, so
Here's a hangover.
And that's
Like, you
because it
Talk
has
about
herbs.
medicinal, dog. I'm just
You want to talk about medicinal?
Oh.
So, with your new album projected to come out in a few months, what do you have lined up as far as support? Are you kidding? This is why you can't play in the fucking band. It's
No,
not
that
type
is-
of music you want to play.
Yeah, I love that. We always have a problem with that.
Good luck, boys.
It's like an animal factory. It's
Yeah.
like, God
Now I
damn
can
it.
get
This
past
guy.
no, they can't. They're
This
screwed.
guy.
So I guess I'll be answering
You
questions.
understand? We're on the
until they get
road
rude
with
again.
them for the next few days. It's brutal.
It's gonna be.
I'm glad we're in a different car.
Yeah,
I know, right?
There's a
Yes.
lot of
Sorry, buddy.
protein.
Yeah, sorry.
So you've got this projected to come out, and you've been spending time doing all of the recording and such things. Did you, with this recording process, how did it come to be? Do you have a friend that does this? Did you seek out a studio? What does this recording process look like?
I work.
Not farting. That's what you
That's
Uh,
true.
I have a good friend Sean. This guy Sean Daly, he's an amazing
Shout out
engineer.
Sean.
Sean Daly is an amazing engineer and producer.
He is Mayor
Look him up.
Daly's son.
No, he's not.
Big
But,
news.
We can't have that. Like,
Sean's a really good friend of mine, and he came to see us like
At Burlington.
3 years ago,
Burlington
and he
show.
was like, "Man, I really want to make a record with you." We were making our third EP at the time, and we were working with someone else, and I was like, "Okay." So again, when like it came time to do this, I was like, "Guys, I really want to use Sean. Like, I know we're gonna get like a quality recording out of this, and just like a great sounding record. Just trust me on this." And then like after the first day of doing drum takes, like we were listening back, and they're like, "All right, cool." And he's an amazing engineer. Like I said, he's one of my best friends, but he's done like a bunch of records. Super smart dude, like just a great ear for production, and like
really easy to work with.
super easy, just like a fun guy to be around. So he'll crack jokes with you when you're in the middle. Like if you mess up a take, he'll crack a joke at you to kind of loosen you up.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's got a way better, just like a knack for picking up on stuff like that I've noticed from like other engineers. It's
Yeah.
like something that's like a nice little perk that like it goes beyond just like straight up recording. Like it's nothing to do with that. It's just him as a person. He's good at reading a room and can kind of figure out like maybe like make a joke here because people are getting stressed out. Like
Yeah.
it's been a great process, honestly.
Yeah.
So, did you each have to go in separately to record? Are you
No.
doing this as a full together?
Actually, we've all pretty much been going in all together, even
Yeah.
after even when I was doing my drum takes, I try and be there every time just
Gotcha.
to support
Yeah.
and be like, oh, because I might have an idea and be like, hey, can we try this right here, or like, because it's a collective thing. It's something we're all doing together. So why not be there? I could sit at home and play PlayStation or go do a million other things, but why not be in the studio, like making sure it's coming out the way we all want it to?
As far as actually recording, each like take all the different instruments are essentially recorded separate, other than the bass and drums who we get like at the same time.
So that kind of segues into my next question, which is something I find an interesting dynamic within bands, is do you have like a band fund, or are all of you separately funneling your own personal money into making this project a thing?
Both. It's
like,
both.
I would say when we don't have a band fund, then it would come down to
Yeah.
funneling
When
it.
we
But
play
we do
shows,
have a
we
band
don't
fund.
take any of the money to our pockets. We put it in
Yeah.
the band fund.
Everything we make from our band goes
I
right
have
back
never
into
made
the
a
band.
penny
Since,
off.
since
off
I've
my
been in the
shows.
band,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
had a band fund. Like it's
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
we've had
It's
money.
getting lower now.
Yeah,
this
since
year.
we recorded
for
and
recording.
stuff.
But we
we're
haven't
still,
we haven't
we're
had to
still
pay
at
out
money.
of pocket
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah,
for the
but if
recording.
we have $50, like say
Yeah.
we play a show and we only make like $20, that $20 goes right towards the band.
band.
It doesn't go towards anybody's gas or anything. It goes
Yeah.
right into like shirts,
we're just
artwork.
gonna have to spend it later.
Yeah.
This is like-
Where do you spend a majority of your band fund? Is it recording and then
Oh,
making
for
sure that
sure.
gets out?
Recording and t-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirts?
Well, shirts you can at least make it back,
Yeah.
but like
Recording, you guys you have
So
to rent a
recording,
place.
yeah, I mean,
I would say
yeah,
recording
dude,
at the end of the day.
Unnatural
then,
Selection was pretty expensive.
It's gonna turn
Yeah.
It's gonna turn into recording and advertising though.
Yeah.
like
Can I
it
ask,
really will.
with Unnatural Selection, how much was that?
Well, it
How
started
much
off at
was it? Too
$1,000
much,
at my studio for 13 hours.
Dude,
of
it
recording, which
ended
kinda
up being probably like
ended
around
up screwing us
2,000.
hard.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah,
worst.
because we
worst.
paid Chris like at least $1,000,
Yeah.
and that's not the drums,
Yeah,
but that's
it was-
everything
it
else.
was-
So like,
Well,
Yeah.
it was like
That-
I think the
That's-
reason I
and that's
it's just dude,
huge
so
reason
much
we're
more.
You
going
tell
to
me-
do
you talk to me
now,
about
because
this all the
it's so
time.
much more
Yeah.
financially
Yeah.
affordable.
Well, and working with my buddy Sean, like it's just so much better. It's just it's also a better working environment.
I think
So like
too.
so
More
like
time.
we have more
yeah.
we get
So
more
much more
done in the
time.
time that we have. So as opposed to like, oh, let's do that 12 more times, as opposed to like, no, you're not doing this right here. Let's just take 10 minutes. Like, he's just a better, he's a
And
more
even if-
focused
and then
engineer.
Even if we did it 12 more times, like it would be way more doable now than if
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
back for when we're doing unnatural selection. Like we don't have the funds and the
Yeah.
time to do it 12
Yeah.
times.
Right.
So it's nice being able to have a little bit more like time in the studio, and I mean I personally feel a lot less stressed like going in to take those takes, then I do
Yeah, because we
like
were
going in vocals for
here's
unread
13
selection. I
hours.
mean, that was like you kind of
Yeah.
gotta get these vocals
Because
today because
you guys run a deadline.
Yeah, it's like this is all
yeah.
these
I mean,
time.
that record was not handled well, and I
We
feel
just
like
got screwed,
just
man.
in the entire process, we were recording it for like 2 years, like because it was in the midst of members
Yeah.
leaving and members joining,
And then
so
me
like
losing my job at
so
that studio,
our old
so
drummers
like,
on the
working my
record-
computer at home,
Yeah.
just wasn't
The
good.
previous drummers on
he
that
wasn't in the
record.
band when the record came out.
Okay.
So
it's just like a lot of
it's
moving
just stuff like
parts.
that, like that
It
record.
is, it's
kind
There's
of-
some weird phases.
and there was two
frustrating
songs that got cut from it, like
But was it a learning experience?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
oh,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So here's the thing too that is, so growing up really poor, I try as much to work collaboratively
Yep.
with other people so that my cost is lower, and if I
Yeah.
can find a way to do it for free and still have the ability to help others benefit, then I will do that. So when you go into record, like, you know, our friends, when we buy art from them, we buy art from them because we want to promote that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Mhm.
But with this, did you seek out just this is a friend who won't fuck us, or were you like, okay, here is our pricing and this is what we want to pay for it?
No, it's more about the. I think it's more about the person. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely a friend. Because especially
Like,
like when you're making a record, like so there's 4 of us, but during the point of this record, like Sean is basically like a de facto 5th member
Okay.
because he's sitting in
really.
6. Yeah, he's sitting. Yeah, because there's so there would be.
Now
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's sitting in, he's giving ideas, he's making suggestions. So you have to have someone that you can trust.
Yeah.
And if you go in kind of blind,
Mhm.
you don't have that ability to have that trust in that person. Be like, hey, I know this person isn't just saying to redo this just to keep the time going.
Right.
It's more of like, no, hey, let's try it this way. It's coming from a genuine place and like an actual
Make it
creative
sound
place.
good.
Yeah, and from a creative place. So that's where it gets weird, and it's like, and the Chris, the guy that's doing our artwork for this new album, like he came to the studio with us, and he sat there and sketched why we were tracking the vocals. So he would be like, "What about this?" And we'd be like, "Okay, cool. Can you add this? Can you do that?"
So I saw that a little
Yeah.
bit.
I was showing
Am
you.
I allowed? Am I allowed
That's
to
fine.
talk?
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. It's like a shepherd, but like a dark shepherd who's like coming out of a Wendigo. And if you don't know what a Wendigo is, it is an old Algonquin mythological creature that is a waif. And the story behind it is if wayward human beings were lost in the North Woods, specifically northern Wisconsin and parts of Canada, they would be eaten by this creature and it fed his soul. However, come to find out that the backstory as to why they created this was because a lot of tribes would get stuck in their migration patterns and would result in cannibalism. So in order for members to not be eaten, they made up the mythological creature, the Wendigo. So family members wouldn't wander into the woods
Yeah.
and then be eaten by other people when found.
Yeah.
Just so you know!
once again, Ball
Knowledge.
State, 4 years, you taught me nothing,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
taught me more.
For the Skinwalker music video, we're getting here as a
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Summed up way better than we could.
also, our 10-year-old daughter wrote a whole fucking fictional novel about the Wendigo. Cause
Awesome. That's
She's
still
so
love our album.
cool.
Yeah. No, like our whole album is about a guy being chased by Skinwalker, which is basically just a
Right.
different version of a Wendigo. It's the same
Yes.
kind of story.
It's-
Yeah,
Yep.
it's basically, yeah.
Well, depending on it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But depending on
Native
how
American
far,
legends,
Yep.
yeah.
Where you go, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm a nerd from a
I would say like so we've been playing Skinwalker is like I would say probably the single on the next record. Seems like every time we play that we get like a nice crowd response. Even when we played earlier, you guys were like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
So like, where does your lyrical content come from?
This one came from.
You threw a bunch of shit at the wall.
This
and see what
one
sticks.
came
We
from.
kind of
are
all
the
so we
lemur.
kind
Oh
of
my
all
God.
right. I think first and
Yeah,
foremost,
we all
Which is
write.
a
Yeah, we
primate.
really do.
It's
Yeah.
a new world ape, by the way.
Oh,
They're closely related to hominids. Which
really?
sucks. Yeah.
lemurs are?
Lemurs are actually a hominid. They're a subspecies of human.
Yeah.
Awesome.
shit.
Again, that's 3 times Ball State.
And they're found in Madagascar, where there's actually 13 different genuses of them.
There was such a good movie about that exact country called Madagascar.
And if we want to get
Talking
real
animals,
dark,
it was
speaking of
awesome.
skinwalkers and such things, because of the mass industrialization of Madagascar currently, all of these animals are starting to die off because we're killing all their trees. And there's certain kinds that have really cool specialized pads on their hands that they live in these trees that are all spines, and they actually eat the bark of them because it gives them water. Just so you know! Sorry.
4 times now.
I say
Yeah.
bonobos are
Yeah.
adorable.
Yes.
But no.
Alright, so now we're just making
Okay.
an effort to save Madagascar.
Owl monkeys, which are in Indonesia and Borneo rainforests, are super cool, and they're the only primate who can see in the dark.
Nice. That is fire.
I can see in the dark, kind of. If I had like my
I'm
phone with a
colorblind, so I
flashlight,
make
I
up
can
for
see
it.
in the
Yeah,
dark.
Yeah, if I got a flashlight, I'm good.
I mean,
Right.
I'm a primate.
I'm a primate. I can see in the dark with a flashlight.
Night vision
can.
goggles.
We went on a tirade.
Well,
anyway.
then I apologize.
Thank you,
Anyway,
though.
The more you know.
we all kind of write. We all write lyrics together. So like he might have 2 lines. I might have 2 lines. Joe might have like
A chorus.
You know,
It really
we all,
does turn out
LJ,
how
all of us, we
They came up with
we
it
just
together,
kind of
don't
dump everything in and then just kind of hash it out.
they? Okay.
Yeah. Typically,
Yeah,
like
lyrically, yeah, it's definitely them 3 more. I definitely am not part of the lyric thing, but musically, I'm usually like coming up with things over what they do.
harmonies
So
and
yeah, they'll write a bass. They usually write a bass of something, and then all of a sudden, I just come in and add a whole nother layer over.
Yeah,
it.
and it'll
So-
change the whole
Yeah, it's
trajectory
just
of
whoever
something.
has an idea. I mean, if you have an idea, you come in, like you polish it up, and you get
Yeah.
to a point where you can present it to the group. And like it's more or less like first crack is whoever's idea it was. Like if you have something that you want to express, you usually get first crack at it. But like if it doesn't sound good and someone else has a better idea, we just go with the other idea. Or if you can't sing it because you're playing something, like then the
It's
other
too
person sings it.
complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
Because they
it's,
both
it's
play
very
and
communal.
sing,
Like there's
yeah.
a ton of lyrics that I will have written that Joe sings or that Joe will have written that I sing. Like, it really doesn't
Yeah.
matter who writes it. It's all about like who sounds better for this part.
Which
Yeah,
is
and
what
who
it's all
can-
about.
So you're not allowed to break up because it sounds like all of you have kind of
Yeah.
fused very
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
what
It-
the ideal
you-
band
if
is.
you
Well, that
replace
and this
one
is the
note,
unhealthy
it
relationship
sounds-
I've ever had in my life. I'm not breaking up with them.
That's an understatement.
These guys don't beat me.
You don't
okay?
want to be the slotty Joe for real?
I just want to be the hot Joe. That's
I'm
it.
sorry.
To get around town Joe.
So once they
Slotty
get
Joe
to be
might
50,
be
are you
one.
going to break up with them because they've reached your age limit?
Well, when he gets 50, I'll be like 30, so.
Dude, you're gonna have
It's like, no, that's too much.
I'm not that much
You're
older.
not that old,
Joe,
yeah.
if you're 50, you
Hold
will have
on,
90-year-old
damn it.
girls.
If I'm 50, the 90-year-olds will be
You're
getting
gonna be breaking
The
hips
exhale's
left and right,
always
bro.
smooth.
God damn.
right through the
Yeah.
trach, right?
Ooh, there was a priest when I went to church once who that was my first like experience with a
I've
tree.
never actually seen him.
He
Really?
talked with the box,
voice
and I was
box?
like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Dad,
holy
what is
shit.
that? He's like, shut, Jessica. I was like,
And that's why you don't go to church anymore.
no, I
Never
don't
been
go to church
since.
for a lot of other
Never been
reasons,
since.
But
Never been back.
I
That box scared the shit out of me.
I gave up Catholicism for Lent. By the way, that's Wednesday. So,
That's fucking funny, dude.
I'm just saying, old habits need to die eventually so that new paradigms can be created. That being said, it segues into this. You've done a lot of work yourselves as bands. You write and you make your own music and you go out of your way to save money and record. How do you distribute your music? And if any of you, I should break it, have ever watched this show, you should know that the answer should be yourselves. Do you use a distributor?
No.
No?
We do everything ourselves.
So you actually go and post it on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify?
Yeah.
We do it all ourselves.
Wonderful.
Spotify,
So,
though?
you-
just-
So,
do we go through, like,
We went through
Whatever,
CD
like,
Baby to post it.
Okay.
Why?
We have to.
They use babies. They use
No.
don't
CD
have
baby.
How
to.
do
You don't have to.
How'd you guys do it?
We found a link that, so I searched the eons of the internet and I found how to submit your music to, it was like 1 a.m. We had just
Yeah.
finished one of these shows and a band from Indiana was like, hey, our label dropped us. How do we get our music back? I'm like, you don't. And he's like, what? And
Yeah.
the way he
Shit.
talked was exactly like a
You
Southern-
taught him more than college taught him too.
What?
The funny thing was he was paying somebody to be their like promoter, but he's like, we heard you know stuff. And that's how it was written. Anyways, there is a link that we have. You go and you submit just like distributors do because you can be an independent marketing agent.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you get to submit as your own
You like
stuff.
essentially create your own record label.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can brand yourself as an LLC.
That's
You
right.
have to pay taxes then?
It depends on how much money you make annually.
Which is like.
However,
Like,
however,
nothing.
as far as copyright goes, if and when we put this onto YouTube, it will tell me, oh, by the way, you're not in any copyright infringement. However, copyright claims have happened and CD Baby is taking the royalties. So, stop giving your fucking shit away because we don't have to do this. And if all of us, I swear to fucking God, were to agree with each other on promoting, like we talked about, making
Yep.
people like, follow, and support each other, we can create this community where we don't have to have the middleman. Music itself
I agree,
is an
yeah.
art
Yeah.
form which has been, I think, bastardized by industry. We don't have to do that. The Iron Workers Union, they don't do that. Cement Masons don't do that. Like, they themselves are their own entity that seek out contracts and get paid. Bands can do the same fucking thing,
Yeah.
but there
Yeah.
is such
Yeah.
misinformation because it's
It's like-
easy.
yeah.
I can Google
Yeah.
how do I get my music
DistroKid
and DistroKid,
and
CD
CD
Baby,
yeah.
TuneCore,
TuneCore,
all that shit
yeah.
pops up, but they take your rights.
Yeah.
They take your rights, which means
Just
if
like
you
a live show.
Yeah.
Like if when a lot of times when you play a live show, you end up going through a booker. Like most of like fuck that. Most of the time, like why not just hit up the venue yourself and put the show together? Why
Yeah.
can't you just book
Hey,
the show
can I have this
yourself?
Saturday
Book
with
shows
like,
for
I know a lot of
bookers,
spots want their bookers to do that.
like,
So you have to go through their bookers, but at the end of the day, it's like half of these bands we don't even need the booker. Like we can do this all ourselves.
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just give
Oh,
us the
yeah.
spot,
More-
dude.
I would say
Yeah.
more than
Paycheck,
half these
you know?
shows, really.
And
But
that's-
there's a lot. But there's also a lot of bookers and promoters that do a good job at what
Yeah,
they do.
but
you
they
have to
promote
ask what
and
they're
promote.
doing, though.
Yeah,
you have
and
to actually
actually
ask what they're
promote.
doing.
Yeah. But a lot of
And they're not
times you
gonna
can just
a
do
good
that
job
shit
for you until
yourself.
You've already made
Yeah.
money, or if you could prove like you got.
We're the opposite. We're
huge
wearing like
following.
goddamn red.
Yeah.
Which is true. But there's an integrity to doing it this way because I firmly believe that this show has a name, but it's not me. This doesn't exist without people actually fucking believing in it
Mm-hmm.
and coming to play. When we did this, I did this as a fuck you to the radio station who wanted to permanently ban me. So I
Oh,
came
wow.
home one day and said, fuck you, we can do this from our house.
Yeah, you can do it on.
So
it's
we
like
did it.
podcast mentality. Oh, you're not gonna put me
I
on the
think they
radio?
just texted
you.
Fuck you! I'll put it on the
Yeah,
internet myself.
the FCC.
Hey, we told you not to talk about us on air.
Yeah.
I built that station, so fuck them.
Ah!
Also, I did. I was the station
Awesome.
manager. So, anyways, we did this, and we had such an overwhelming response. And the thing that we continue to see over and over, people are going to their friends to create their artwork. They're going through other friends to create merchandise. They're creating, shows by reaching out to other people and connecting all over the place. But every single human being almost gives all their shit away and says, here, I will pay you a nominal fee monthly and you distribute my music. Why? You gave away your rights and your royalties. You can keep it in-house. You really, really can. Does it take more time? Yes, it does. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
sitting up and go, fuck! I've watched Kiff. All of his band's music is on multiple platforms because he sat there and he fought with the different types of programming to do it. And it was like, okay, how about you get people, take a walk, go do something, and come back to it. But because of that, his band has been featured on different compilations that are then distributed through like Dilapidated Records and stuff.
Nice, yeah.
So there are opportunities
Yeah.
if you can kind of fuss through it, and if you have friends who are doing your artwork and they're doing your merchandise, find a nerd computer friend and say, here is our digital music. Please go ahead and spread the word just like 80s
Yeah.
all over the place.
I
Just
want to
kidding.
find. I want to find somebody like that for
Yeah.
sure, because one of the hardest things about like getting your stuff out nowadays is there's so many people doing music.
Yes.
And now that the internet's so abundant, it's so hard to get your stuff to cut through
Yeah.
with all
Oh,
the
yeah.
algorithm and
It's like
everything.
too much.
But
So
do
when
you
you
know how
judge-
you fix that too?
Well,
Here-
like you were saying, yeah, exactly. You all get together and follow and share each
Mhm.
other's stuff.
Yeah.
But like getting like when you run an advertisement, like targeting people and targeting the right things and stuff, there's a whole like science to that stuff to keep it, good and right and working efficiently that a lot of people don't know until you like really study it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it would be really beneficial to find somebody that knows how to do that stuff to help us
That's what we were
distribute
talking about on the ride
a
up.
music
we're gonna
video
have
or
to-
something
Oh, wow,
like
maybe
that.
next
Yeah.
time conference call us in, huh?
You know what you could do? You could just reach out to the plethora of universities that are around Chicagoland area and say, hey, communications department.
Yeah.
We're so and so. Do you
That's a
want to
good
have
idea.
a project for your grad students? Help us figure out a way to do
Ooh.
this. Boom.
That's even better than I was.
Because they have to do it anyway as a thesis.
I thought you were gonna go with college radio. I was like, oh, we're looking into that, but then nice.
You
Didn't see that coming.
you can do college radio.
Yeah, but then everyone knows about that.
Yeah.
No one's reaching out to the communications department to get them to do a project
That-
to do work for
That's
us.
how we built our radio station
That's
because we
dope.
formed a partnership with them, and so those kids actually got to have
Yeah.
credit hours.
Oh,
because
that-
And it's-
they wrote
Yeah,
our
work like
program.
internet marketing
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit.
Hell yeah.
It's like, be like,
So,
yo,
so we
we're
talked
doing
about
shit.
like
Yeah.
reaching out to
I
like
have a few of them.
college like student artists because they're starving for work and they're going to be willing to do something because it could count for
Yeah.
class credit for them. Like
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
not even
And
wasting
if you
their time.
find a good one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then you're there. You gotta
Yeah.
sift through the bullshit, obviously. Not
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be good at that level, but you're gonna find some like diamonds in the rough.
But
for
it
sure.
would be cool to like we've talked about getting artwork for each song and
That's
then
what we
posting like
Yeah.
individual singles. We just need a lot of artwork for it, so we're gonna need to like. And I do want if we're doing it for the album.
Well, if you want
I
good
do want
creepy
cons-
artwork that is
Yeah.
like with really good print, that guy does that because he's our in-house artist, and he's done multiple
We'll-
logos for
we'll be-
bands that are not even from here.
We'll be talking later.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
We make buttons too if you ever need buttons.
always,
The button machine's right
always,
there. Bam.
always need buttons.
Yep. I got
Buttons
real
and
strong
stickers.
doing buttons. I'll tell you
That's
what.
like-
Yeah, dude, we got that. We got Outlaws AF calligraphy. I want to
Nice.
throw on a button. That'd be badass.
We
dude.
should.
Yeah.
We got so we're getting new. He's talking about we're getting new logos. So you look on like our site right now, like it's all right. It's not a bad logo. It's just kind of metal. Like I don't really want to
Yeah,
seem like a metal band. Like
Ah,
I like them. Don't get
because
me
of
wrong.
the
We're
way that
metalheads.
the
yeah,
It
no,
is.
we're all
But
into
like,
bunches
it's
of
just,
stuff.
I don't want like someone's first impression to see the text and be like, oh, this is a metal band.
So do you know who Graham Bass is? He's an author and an illustrator, all right? And he did this book called Animalia, as well as multiple other things. If you've never
Good album name to steal. by the
fucking
way.
check,
Animalia,
you should,
good
you-
one.
dude. I'll show you afterwards. I'll internet for you. Oh my
That's
god,
the
when I was little,
one.
this
Yeah,
book
file
was
this away.
so.
File this away.
It was so like, mind blowing because the artwork was fucking amazing, and he went through the alphabet, and this little boy is hidden in every single picture. That is these giant
Waldo,
animal
dude?
pictures,
Yeah.
and they're gorgeous. Like these animals. There's one scene where it's in a giant glass, like castle thing, and these elephants are eating grapes, and it's super gorgeous. But Graham Bass is an
The
author
child is the
illustrator.
grape in that one. They're
Yeah.
about to eat the child.
He's hiding he's sitting like this underneath the table, and each of the stories follows whatever letter starts for that alphabet. But he did a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Awesome.
And it's very intricate, awesome animal art. Just so you know, I've been able to incorporate
Wonder if-
all the animal stuff
wonder
in it
if-
tonight.
I wonder if LG
She was like researching
I
her own.
I didn't
like,
research
I need as
anything.
many animal like weird
Yeah.
out there
She
animal.
stayed up till 4 in the morning
Yeah, found animals.
watching
All this
Discovery
shit just
Channel
comes
videos.
off my cuff.
These
man.
guys think they're Animal Factory. Fuck them! I'm about to out animal them.
is the L lemur? I'm just kidding.
Actually, I
Oh,
think
shit.
there are lemurs
Really?
in it.
They're not three-eyed.
But there's
lemurs. They're not
lions
three,
too because
yeah.
they tie in more than
Oh
one
yeah,
animal
of course
in
it would be lion.
So,
yeah, it would definitely
I'll show
be
you
lion.
after.
Yeah, the
It's
main
just such a
street
really
animal for the
cool-
elk
Yeah.
community.
For the elk community.
elk.
What?
There's an elk
The elk
community,
community,
and
dude.
lions are really way too mainstream.
Yeah, dude, LJ, L community, you know.
Oh, all right. How about
I'm part of the L
merchandise?
community.
Yeah, you're part of the elk community.
What merchandise do you guys have?
We got
Shirts.
Hey, grab the
got
Drunk as Fuck
shirts.
t-shirt. You'll like that one.
I love the Drunk as
Yeah,
Fuck
the Drunk as
t-shirt.
Fuck t-shirts are sweet.
And
I
So-
get the ostrich too.
This is our most recent t-shirt. Little ostrich.
That's not the most recent one. That's
No,
not
the
the most
leader.
recent one.
That is not
What are you talking about? Yeah,
No,
that is
the
not.
financial
Oh
section
no,
of the
that's
book.
not. You're right. You're right. Here is
That's the most
the most
So
recent
this
one.
is the album cover.
a 3 out
like,
there.
It's all white because there's a lot of color. If you check us out on Spotify, you can see that Unnatural Selection cover. There's a ton of color on it. It was just too
It's
expensive to
so
print.
cool. It's almost
on-
like steampunk.
This
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
nice.
it.
I like that.
Yeah.
This here's my personal favorite.
So
Drunk as fuck.
the same guy has
Have you
drawn
seen this
all of
one?
these T-shirts.
Yeah.
It's like the cubby bear.
Oh,
but
I've
he's
seen that
throwing
one.
it. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's.
So
There's a story
I
right
really
there,
wish
right.
we gotta revamp these and put them on baseball tees because we
Yeah.
talked
That's what I'm
about
saying,
Ooh, I
dude.
love
corner
baseball
sleeve.
tees.
Yeah.
What's the
Also selling one of Kevin's lightly used t-shirts.
It's inside
striped
out.
t-shirt V-neck.
Hey, grab my pants from there.
You also
And we
have
will be
brands.
selling whatever. This is
No.
a scarf. Anybody who wants a scarf?
$2 scarf.
Your pants. You have no
Are
pants
they
in
in there?
here.
The
You ain't got no
St. Patrick's Day
brands. So while he
Grab 'em,
digs
seen 'em,
through
Billy.
Grab my
merchandise,
one?
Yeah.
You should have brought Bessie.
We got CDs. Oh, this is like perfectly wrapped.
So that's-
You want a
aren't you
CD,
guys
right?
on a
So
tour
that's-
ish? Like a
we
mini
are
tour?
on
What
a
happens after you
weekend.
leave
We're
here
weekend
tonight?
warrioring.
Yeah,
What
we're
does happen if we leave here?
so
probably
we're in
good.
Indianapolis
tomorrow.
tomorrow and Saturday.
Okay.
We're doing like a small little
We're
run.
like downtown Indianapolis with
then
some.
we
You're at the
got-
Melody Inn.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah,
got
we're at the Melody Inn, and
And
then
then it's
suburb,
a
Here you go, man.
like
This
some
is the second
house
album.
shows, suburb stuff. We figured if you're gonna go out, at least do a few shows. Like go out.
Mhm.
Like
we're getting a
can,
little bit
yeah,
of
do
everything
it.
too with
Yeah.
these 3 days. Like I mean, the
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
doing like
live
this.
stream, more traditional venue with the Melody Inn, and then
and then a house show.
DIY like
Yeah.
house show.
That's
It's
cool.
like
Yeah.
covering everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wonderful.
And our plan is just to keep doing things like this. Get out
Yeah.
and hit as many places we can, like Ohio. Hit
Yeah.
places like Columbus, Dayton, which is where
Coming
I'm
back
from,
from
and
Milwaukee in a couple
hit.
months.
Yeah, we're coming back to Milwaukee, hitting
true.
places like Philly and pretty much anywhere we can, and just taking it because you have to take your music out to people. No one's
Yeah.
gonna come look for you. You got to kind of go.
Especially today's
You
market.
got to go. You got to take it to people and be like. And for us, it's especially being the kind of music we are. We're not a pop band. So for us, being like this weird proggy indie band, if we play a show to 20 people,
We gotta find
if
out a
3
market.
of them like it, we can only hope that they show it to 3 other people that they think will like.
Yeah.
it. That's the only way for us in our.
Well, over
demographic
912 people watched
Watched
you
it,
tonight,
yes.
so.
So
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah.
that.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What? Oh, fuck, I forgot what I was saying.
So
You're gonna ask me a question?
after this little tour, next week we got Home Bar, which is like a
Oh, yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
big
I
venue.
remember.
It's in the burbs.
Arlington Heights.
Arlington
Illinois.
Heights, so it's like right
Hmm.
next to this
And then
place.
Milwaukee
Nice little pocket.
is when?
That's
August
the
18th.
18th.
Shut the
You
fuck
said
up.
not
August?
August.
April.
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 And then we got
Yeah.
one Lombard. It's like the 16th of May.
Are you playing Brower House?
Brower House.
Yeah,
exactly, yep.
she already
nice.
knows.
You knew.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We never played.
I've been doing
Yeah.
Well, so we've been doing a booking agent.
So we just wanted to make
started
it aware
working
that we
with
had a
Brower
show in
House and
August.
started booking there heavily.
Okay.
But we used to get different shows, and then like he booked us in. Actually, a lot of stuff. Like back in the day, Metro, Cubby Bear a ton of times.
Yeah.
Reggie's. I don't think he got us House of Blues. It wasn't him.
Swizzle
But,
didn't
like,
do House of Blues.
Swizzle didn't get. But like
Yeah.
a bunch of good shows. So we're excited to be working with him again. It's been a little while. I mean, Sub Team.
I haven't played a
last
show.
one.
Oh, Sub T.
I think Sub
right
Team was the
before
last
Kelso
one,
left.
and that was
Yeah.
like
That was
literally
the
this
last
guy's
time we
first
played
show
Sub
or
T's,
second show.
Second show.
But it was a quick succession, so it was like right around
Yeah.
at the time of the first show. But it's cool to be working with him again. I mean, he's a good dude. He's gotten us some good shows. So
And now we can get back into the Cubby Bear, so expect to see us bring
Yeah,
that
I
story.
wanted-
We're coming.
I wanted to bring that up when you showed the shirt. Like,
Man, it's
Oh,
lifted.
God.
is there like
Cubby
a
Bear.
whole thing with that?
It's a long story. I don't know if we got.
I don't know if it's like.
I mean, all you need to really know is Sean
We got
Gaz kicked
banned.
out of the Cubby Bear.
But we're allowed
we
back
haven't
in
been
now.
allowed, we haven't played the Cubby Bear since like 2017 when we literally got banned. So we got booked for the Cubby Bear, and I remember going into it, I'm like, hey, just so you know, like, we got banned. So, like, make sure this is okay with your staff, because we're down to play. We like the Cubby Bear.
Yeah.
Just make sure, like, this is cool. Of course, he didn't. The week of the show, I was like, hey, the staff was pulling up the show notes, and, they
You
don't,
can't
they don't
play
feel comfortable
here.
to play, you can't play. I'm like, dude, I literally told you this months ago. Like, why is this coming up now? So the week of the show, we're figuring out, like, what the hell are we going to do? We can't just tell everyone we're not playing the show.
We relocated to Lily's.
We relocated to Lily's, which was, dude, that was a fun-ass time.
Oh, man.
And we had a nice turnout. It was kind of like, Cubby Bear, like, the hell, like, I can almost guarantee that they didn't get a band that had as good of a turnout as us. At least the fact that they had like a week to get the band for them
And
to
promote
promote
it, yeah.
and then get them. Like I was just like, you guys, this is silly and this is stupid.
But we had a huge
But-
turnout at Lily's that night, man.
Yeah, it was
That's
a
a
huge,
tiny place
fun-ass
now.
time.
Yeah.
It's like a little
But
haunted bar.
now we're happy to say that we are officially not banned. From
Unbanned. The
Cubby Bear.
band?
We've been working on it for years. Finally, it just took like Joe knowing someone else in the band that wanted to play. Like, hey, we know this band Animal Factory. Boogie was like, oh, hey, he's been messaging me trying to get unbanned. Yeah, like, let's just lift it. They're good. They're good. They paid their dues. Like,
We're good.
Like, okay,
Now we just
cool.
gotta get one of them shows
It's like
lined up.
literally, I'm the only person that will be in that room that was
In the
involved
band at that time.
in the band or worked on the staff.
Yeah.
It's like, this is really silly. Like,
ridiculous.
and I'm not gonna do anything. Like, this is
This is
silly.
serious. Sorry.
That's so funny.
But, yeah.
So I know that we've reached probably way over the top of the hour at this point. Where can people find you? Where do you want to direct traffic?
Spotify.
Probably
Spotify.
Spotify.
Go to
Animal
Spotify.
Factory,
We're at the
Facebook.
top of the
Hey, somebody
the
else,
search.
not them. That's what they
Yeah.
just said.
So it's Animal Factory Band if
That's
you go
what's
on
Ow.
Facebook.
Yeah, but
Instagram,
Oh,
Animal
Sometimes
Factory
love's
1.
supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
You can't make a claim like that and then hide behind your hood.
I didn't. I just put it up. I just put it up. I didn't.
All right.
I-
Just
All
put
right.
it up.
So
So Spotify,
Plugs.
Facebook, Instagram, all the big ones.
Those are the main ones that we promote.
Yeah,
What's-
those are what we promote.
So
Spotify,
Instagram,
Animal
it's at Animal Factory 1 on Instagram.
Yes.
On Facebook, it's just facebook.com/Animal Factory Band. And then Spotify, you
Just
just
search
Animal Factory.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
see the three-eyed
You got a
lemur.
little lemur
Trust
there.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
You
miss
can
the
listen
little
to
guy.
it on our playlist if
Yes.
you check out Jess.
Yeah,
Oh,
check
yeah,
out
playlist.
Jess'
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
So, you play Melody in tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, catch these
1
guys.
a.m. Indianapolis. I hope you're still awake.
1 a.m.
Wide-eyed and
Get
bushy
some
tailed.
I
Red Bull.
hear that is the venue to play, so
It is.
that's
So I've
fun.
been told.
It's viewer's choice next week, so we'll be down here
sweet.
playing whatever it is that you guys send us. So make sure to send us music. If you guys want to share your other bands or people that you know,
Yeah.
we'll play it. We'll play it next Thursday. We're still getting set up. We'll figure out a new name. We'll hang banners. We'll do shit. But this has been Animal Factory. Catch them tomorrow night in Indianapolis at the Melody Inn. Make sure to buy a t-shirt and a CD and various other pieces of merch. Tell them not to use a distributor next time since they're releasing an album.
Next album.
Next, hey, the next one's not out yet.
Super We heard it now.
And,
Next album.
You can change it.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back on Tuesday. Also, Tuesday, we're going to release the dates for April, May, June. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later. Bye, Mom.
Tuesday.